Good morning, everyone. It is April 10th. Here's your morning news rundown. This is going to be a lighter morning news rundown. It wasn't as busy overnight, which is good news for everyone involved in the process. To all those who want to support my work, please consider clicking the button below and becoming a paid subscriber to my Substack today, or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. Thank you again to everyone who's been able to do that. With that, let's jump right into the news. While flying with Donald Trump on Air Force One on Sunday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent advised him to pivot toward negotiation talk and to clearly define the endgame regarding his tariffs economic policy, warning that the markets were tanking and the administration needed to do something. 2 days later, Trump backed down, reversing the tariffs policy yesterday on all countries except China. This morning, we learned that the price of a dozen eggs in America has skyrocketed to $6.23 a dozen. That is a new record high and comes still amid fears of the avian flu, even though the United States has, in the past several months, imported hundreds of millions of eggs from South Korea, Turkey, and elsewhere. The egg prices are going up, partly because of the demand with Easter as well coming up. And experts believe that after Easter, egg prices may fall slightly again. But at least right now, it costs about $6.23 a dozen to purchase a carton of a dozen eggs. Meanwhile, US CPI inflation fell in March compared to the previous month. That's the first monthly decline of inflation since March 2020. That's good news. Inflation is falling, even though the price of eggs and the price of other goods coming from China are going to rise. And speaking about goods from China, well, one piece of electronic is about to rise fast, and that's the Apple iPhone. In order to circumvent tariffs, Apple has shipped 600 tons of iPhones from India in an effort to avoid the tariffs, according to Reuters. 600 tons of iPhones they are shipping into the United States. The House of Representatives has passed a bill to restrict district court judges from issuing nationwide injunctions. Only one Republican, Mike Turner from Ohio, sided with Democrats to oppose the legislation. The move directly targets judges who previously blocked some of Donald Trump's policies via nationwide injunctions, including the Alien Enemies Act ban, the executive order on birthright citizenship, and more. This bill now has to pass the United States Senate and receive 60 votes. It's not likely to pass. Today, the United States House of Representatives may be voting on two critical pieces of legislation, including the SAVE Act, which could restrict access to voting rights for many in America, and also a budget bill. But it's unclear whether or not the House of Representatives has the votes, whether Republicans have the votes to pass the budget bill. They likely have the votes to pass the SAVE Act. They likely don't have the votes, at least currently, to pass the budget bill. And yesterday, they were supposed to pass this budget bill that could see cuts to Medicaid and more, and food assistance. And well, they couldn't get the votes, so they didn't vote on it. We'll see if it happens today. More to come. In addition, Donald Trump has signed an executive order targeting the law firm Sussman Godfrey, which played a key role in defending or in helping Dominion Voting Systems secure a $787 million settlement from Fox News over false claims concerning the 2020 election. Interestingly, the Department of Justice is backing off its case against a man it had labeled as the leader of MS 13 in Virginia, an arrest that was once touted by Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Governor Glenn Youngkin. But the man's lawyer is now urging the the court to not dismiss the charges, worrying that if they were to dismiss the charges, it could trigger a quick deportation without due process. After their first night sleeping outdoors in earthquake-stricken Myanmar, the three-person USAID team sent to assist was met with termination notices the next morning. And finally, according to a new memo, the Department of Justice is now banning its employees from participating in American Bar Association events. These events have traditionally served as a space for professional growth and idea sharing. The Trump administration argues that the ABA is pushing a left leaning agenda, and it's frustrated that the organization has sued over suspended USAID contracts. Folks, that's all the news right now. There'll be more news throughout the day. I'll provide it to you every step of the way. Hopefully, there's not a ton and we can have a chiller day. But obviously, no matter what happens, you'll get the news from me. So take care, and I'll see you this evening.